Welcome to the Joe Monroe Show. Now, here's your host, Joe Monroe. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Joe Monroe Show. It is I, Joe Monroe, and I'm here with legendary wrestler Rated X. Sir, it's good to see you as always. How you doing?
Good, man. Good to see you.
I'm happy you agreed to do this show to help preserve wrestling history here in Kentucky. That's my number one goal to do with this. So go ahead and tell us how you got your start here.
Broke in basically with Danny Fargo. Dale Bass helped me out when I first started training. But I was at MWA for probably 10 years. I wrestled a little bit earlier at a couple different federations, but my main deal was in Georgetown, Kentucky with Fargo. So.
Right, you would tell us stories in training that place would sell out each Sunday.
Oh, I worked Dundee down there, Bill Dundee on, I think it was Thanksgiving night, Joe, and I think we sold 800 tickets to the building. They were packed. And me and Dundee had a good deal going on there for a while. So yeah.
So who would you say would probably be your greatest rivalry, Dundee, or would it be somebody else?
Before Dundee, well, it was kind of Tracy Smothers and I had a good feud. He brought in some guys from ECW at the time when the FBI were the tag team champions up there, and it was a MWA versus ECW feud.
Okay.
So that one, plus Prince Justice, aka Abyss, the Monster Abyss. He and I battled over that MWA title several times. I probably wrestled him 50 times.
So you just brought up something I didn't know about. I didn't know MWA and ECW did this type of feud. How long did that last?
That was probably good 3 to 4 months. Wow. I wrestled Paul Diamond, who was in the tag team Bad Company, AWA tag team champions. He came in at the time with the ECW guys, and Andy Anderson was another guy that came down. And it was just pretty much, I was leading the MWA charge, and Tracy was leading the ECW charge, and it was a battle, so it was fun.
Well, so something we didn't know about, folks. So there you go. That's why I'm doing this show. You get to learn more information like this. So going on MWA, is there anywhere else that you worked aside from there?
Oh yeah, I went up to the mountains up in Manchester and wrestled for HCW, which was Hardcore Championship Wrestling. I won one of their titles up there, and it seemed like they had too many to mention. So, but I was one of their champions as well. Everywhere I've been, pretty much, Joe, I've held the heavyweight title. So I was fortunate enough to win and lose the MWA title 19 times.
Wow.
Which is the most. I think Dale Mann held it 15, 16 times, and I held it 19. So
wow.
I was a 19-time MWA heavyweight champion.
So total, how many heavyweight championships have you won?
Joe, I can't keep up with it.
I know that look.
From the USWF to HCW to MWA. I'm sure there's more that I've got written down somewhere, but Bobby Blade could probably tell you more than I could.
You know, I just subscribed to his YouTube channel. If you guys haven't, go subscribe to Bobby Blade. You'll see this man quite a lot there.
A lot of MWA video on his page.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Whenever you started helping me with training and stuff, I was like, let me. I heard of you, and I've seen some of your matches when I was younger because my grandpa had tape trading, you know, back in the day. And I actually still have some. I found a whole box of them from MWA. So, man, show those to you sometime. But yeah, I was like, I need to study, and man, like that went down a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah, we had. I think I wrestled just in Georgetown alone 54 nights a year.
Wow.
So it was every Sunday night, Christmas night, Thanksgiving night. And that's not counting when we would go to Mount Olivet at Deming High School. We would go to Mount Sterling. We'd go to Nicholasville. We wrestled in the old Walmart building in Nicholasville. And Joe, I would guess there was 12 to 1,500 people.
Wow.
And I think I've wrestled Billy Marino at that show. So
I've always said old Walmarts and Kmarts would be good buildings.
That one did well. That was the only time that we used that building up there, but it was a great crowd.
So you wrestled for MWA for how many years?
I was probably 10 years at MWA, so I was up there about 10 years.
Wow. And when did you start up USWF here?
I took about a 3 to 4 year break, and I had a couple of buddies of mine. One had wrestled, one had wanted to get in as far as announcing and stuff like that. Jamie Phillips. The other guy was cousin Jed. So we kind of got together and we were like, let's just start up and see what, because I personally felt that Kentucky was missing old school championship wrestling type deal.
Right.
You know,
The only thing going was Terry, right? At this point, UCW.
Terry, yeah, UCW was still running. MWA was actually still running, but it was under a different owner.
Okay.
Dirty Chris Hayes bought it from Fargo, and he started. And I took time off, just try to heal up because I had bad knees, bad rotators, all that good stuff. But we started USWF up, and man, we went to McKinney, Kentucky, and that thing was the reincarnation of Georgetown, I thought.
Wow.
It packed every show. They were standing wall to wall. I was fortunate enough to have a lot of guys come down and work for me, like Smooth Johnny Spade, the Fat and the Furious. Jack Black was at that time probably 460 pounds. Vito would go 3-something. So we had a lot of good talent. Doug Vines was down there for me. Vic came down, Vic the Bruiser. Yep. Cujo was there. As I said, Johnny Spade, the Masked Superstar, Zodiac were a tag there. The Prophet. I mean, there was guys that we had Eugene show up one night just out of the blue, and he told me, he said, Rated X, last Saturday night I was in Madison Square Garden, and tonight I'm in McKinney, Kentucky, brother.
I think I remember you telling us that story.
So, and that's how the business is, you know. So.
Yeah, you can go in and out and don't know where you're going to be the next day.
Right.
That's something you've learned, and I want to appreciate it right now. Thank you for everything you've taught me.
Oh, and
I mean, no, honestly, just that short month before my knee decided to give out on me again. You know, you helped me out a lot, and you know, you've helped out a lot of, you know, younger talent coming in through the pipeline right now.
Yeah, I look at it like this: if we don't give back, you know, with the older guys that have been around this business forever and ever and ever, don't give back to it. Who's going to teach these guys?
Right.
Because what you see today, and I'm going to get on my soapbox for a minute. What you see today is crap, total crap. Bottom line, the old Memphis territory was wrestling. The old Alabama territory was wrestling. Knoxville was wrestling. All those territories, that was what wrestling was about. And today's deal, the guys don't even have a clue what that even was, who it was. I mean, one of my biggest heroes was Handsome Jimmy Valiant, Joe.
I know, Handsome Jimmy Valiant, right?
He actually took a part in my training.
Yeah.
He and I also did a deal where, you know, we tagged up, we did some radio stuff together, that kind of thing. He came to my hometown and we did some stuff. So I actually wrestled him in Nicholasville, Kentucky with my manager. And if I didn't mention this name, gentleman Jim Chadwick, I gave him his start as a manager. And he and I went together and we tore up places and had to fight to get out, so on and so forth. And it was fun. But, you know, with Boogie, he and I wrestled with Boogie in Nicholasville, and the word got back to us that we could go anywhere we wanted to and make money doing what we did because we were that good. So,
right. So you learned a lot from Jimmy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Anytime you're around Jimmy Valiant, if you can't learn anything, man, there's something wrong. You know, I learned every guy that I got to wrestle, like, you know, whether it was Tracy, who was a big influence on me when I wrestled him.
Yeah.
Tracy was just a giver, and unfortunately for us, Tracy's passed on, but his memory, his legacy will forever live on.
Yeah, not only you, but people like JD Thunder, because JD was on the show a few months ago, was talking about him. He's like, you know, I wanted, basically what you just said, I want to give back because that's what Tracy taught me.
Right.
And, you know, I respect you guys doing that because I grew up with old school wrestling, like Memphis Wrestling, Georgia Championship Wrestling,
right.
Mid-South Wrestling, stuff like that, you know, I like it.
Well, yeah, that's what I came up on. That's what was good. That was the good stuff. I mean, you know, you talk Lawler Dundee, Handsome Jimmy, I was fortunate to team with me and Buddy Landell. We were down in London. For those guys down there, it was the SCW, and Buddy and I tore up Jack. Is all I can say. They were working. The whole ordeal was for me and Buddy to face Lawler and Dundee in a tag.
Right.
Jim White was down there, who was Jerry Lawler's old tag team partner years ago, and Jim was down there. He was a wealth of knowledge. I was very fortunate to be around Jim White. So, but man, just the guys that I've wrestled, the guys I've got to share the ring with. Wolfie D, who is here tonight, he and I wrestled in Georgetown for the NWA heavyweight title, and he kind of low down me and won the belt, but I got it back. That's all that mattered.
So if you, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I know we got to keep it short because during this recording, we're actually at the Mama Bruiser Memorial Show.
Right.
I know we got to wrap it up here, but something I'd like to ask people is, what do you want your legacy to be? Like, what do you want Rated X's legacy to be? And what would you change in pro wrestling today?
Number one, what I would change.
Yeah.
If you slap your leg, I'm going to slap the piss out of you. Bottom line. Legacy-wise, man, I just want the fans to remember the good stuff we did, because Tracy Smothers and I started a riot in Georgetown, Kentucky, man, and we had to get the cops to get us out. I started a riot at Estill County at the Estill County Fair. Rip Rogers was on that show. He was there, and he said, "You're going to get us all killed." But state police had to get me out of there. I was in Hazard, Kentucky. State police escort out of there. Tracy and I turned on Handsome Jimmy Valiant in Jackson. And the thing that I found out in Jackson, Kentucky, one thing you don't do is you do not jump Handsome Jimmy Valiant in Jackson, Kentucky. We had to fight the whole building to get out.
Oh, Lord.
So,
well, Rated X, thank you so much,
Joe,
for being on my show. And folks, we'll be back with a brand new episode hopefully shortly, but stay tuned for more information.
You've been listening to The Joe Monroe Show with Joe Monroe. Don't forget to like and subscribe.